international assignment for Ghana. Did pretty well. For a first-timer, I believe that he did pretty well.
He did okay, yeah?
Yeah, he did pretty okay. I mean, in terms of the psychological toughness and everything. And I do realize as well that a Jojo Wollacott shows a lot more confidence when the Black Stars are building up from the back. Right?
Yeah, but even the one that shows the most confident, the one that's most comfortable on the ball amongst those three is actually Atizigi.
Yeah.
You know, who also, some people want to believe that his spirit calls for goals too much. He makes a lot of saves, but every time he's in goal, we also concede a lot of chances and consequently a lot of goals. At the World Cup, he had a decent World Cup, but we still conceded 7 goals in 3 matches. So, listen, this is what I think is going on with the Black Stars. First of all, we need to look at what defensive pairing works. Because honestly, it's one area where we haven't been able to properly address. Because listen, if we have Mohamed Salisu, and anybody who knows him knows what kind of quality he is, we saw him coming in the second half. And I always say, if a player is fit enough to play in the second half, they're fit enough to start. He is, by far, our best defender as things stand. I think the best way to get the best out of our centre-backs, especially those 4, would be to play in a back 3. And this is my opinion. I think you should play Salisu on the left, play Jiku in the middle, and play Amati on the right-hand side. Okay? And play wing-backs. I think Dennis Odoi might not be the most offensive right-sided wing-back.
But he gets the job done.
Yeah, and this is how you do it. Even for the most traditional teams, you don't always have 2 wing-backs both flying. You have 2 wing-backs, but one is always more offensive than the other one. Hence, Gideon Mensah, in my opinion. I would have preferred Baba Rahman because he's a flying full-back. But Gideon Mensah can do the job, a decent job. And if you do that, I think we leave a place, for me, if you do that and you play two DMs, that is tolerable. But in my opinion, if you play like that, in that back 5 or back 3 plus 2 wingers, you can play a number 8 and a DM. And number 8, Majid Ashimeru. We also saw, once again, we saw him in the second half. He showed yet again that he is the number 8 that is missing that we've always lacked in the absence of Thomas Partey. He slots in without a doubt. Then you can play Salis as that DM to sweep up, all right? And then it leaves you with a front 3. Now, that front 3 option is key. And I think that front 3, no matter what, Kudus Mohammed has to play in there. On that left-hand side, he has to play closer to goal, like where he plays at West Ham. I think we've misdiagnosed and misprofiled him a lot of the times, where we seem to think that he's a number 10, so we put him in a hole to be roaming about. He's a goal scorer. In that number 10, there's this tendency with African players, they think once I have the number 10 jersey, I have to dribble like Abedi Pele or JJ Okocha. No, the times have changed. When he goes to West Ham, he plays far more efficient football than when he plays for the Black Stars. And yet, he is Ghana's top scorer since he made his debut. So it says a lot about what you need to know about this player. So play him closer to goal. And on that right-hand side, play another enterprising winger. I think Ghana is probably overstacked on that right-hand side. Because you look at Pencil, he can play there. Osman Bukari can play there. Inaki Williams can play there. Semenyo can play there. We don't even have, in my opinion, I don't even think we have we only have one proper centre forward, the local boy, Jonathan Sowa, because all the other players that we have are probably auxiliary strikers. So I would go with maybe a player like Osman Bukari, enterprising, he's quick, he's got good experience playing in the Champions League, and then maybe play a player like Jordan Ayew. And most people don't like Jordan Ayew, but there's a reason managers after managers after managers all keep playing him. And if that's the other case, maybe I'll switch him and take him to the flanks and then, of course, play a different player, maybe Inaki Williams to the centre. Because, for example, the opposition will determine where I play Jordan. Because you play against Egypt, you need a player like Jordan with a tactical discipline to track down the runs of Mohamed Salah on that right-hand side. You play any other player, it's lights out. We are done. You understand me? So for me, I think that is a workable system. Houghton has struggled to find a balance in this team. And it looks to me like even with 3 or 4 days to the start of the AFCON, after 10 days, after 6 or 7 days of camping in Kumasi, he still hasn't figured out the right system to get the best out of this team. Well, and that game against Namibia, they were shambolic.
Yeah, so...